What is up, Bucs fans? We are live here. It's Real Bucs Talk back again on a Monday, a Victory Monday, and it feels very good to say that because Buccaneers, after that Monday night loss against the Eagles, you thought the world was coming to an end. This was it. Like Buccaneers were just going to be sold. Like just forget, kicked out of the league. But they came back, they bounced back against a very good defense in the New Orleans Saints and won 26-9. Pretty much handled it from the start. Watching that game, you didn't think the Bucs were ever out of it. They really took control, especially at the end of the first half. But a huge win. Buccaneers are now 3-1 going into the bye week, a much needed bye week because they got a lot of guys that need to get healthy and get back full go. And now we get into the second half of the season. This Buccaneers team is ahead of schedule. And would you know it, they're actually, exceeding expectations to a lot of national media, not exceeding our expectations. We all knew that they were going to be a lot better than most people thought. So they've already passed the 2-win mark of some predictions. And, yeah, welcome everybody in. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm your host, Michael Plus. Join as always, my co-host, Mark Ramirez. And Mark, how satisfying was that win yesterday? I think it was a huge, just for the whole team, confidence to get that win in New Orleans.
I mean, to you and I, we talked about this. We're like, should be an expected win to us. The only thing we're worried about is the Saints defense primarily, because yeah, they are really good. I think what it was, they hadn't allowed a touchdown in the first half all season. Was that what it was? Or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that I can see. That is pressing, especially with Canales, first time play caller. Baker just getting in touch with his weapons, and then we lose Mike Evans really early in the game. So it's like, okay, what's going to happen? They just kept getting better as the game was going on. And you saw first play of the damn game, play action fake, learning from the game prior, right? Stuff that everyone kept banging their head against. Oh, we suck, or it's left witch offense. Sometimes it blows my mind how teams, or how experts, like someone said, and Ken Smith said in the chat, how experts would say certain things about the Bucs and how they're picking the Panthers and Falcons. And you've been doing a great rant all over Twitter expressing how dumb it is that people are saying that a rookie and a second-year pro that hasn't really started a full year will be first in the division. It's just things just don't make sense. And I think it's just people looking to throw shit at the fan, see something that hits. You have a team that's kind of had plenty of talent on it. Tom Brady chose it because of that. I think Baker Mayfield made the same decision. I see a lot of talent. I think that can help me out. Let me try and go the same path. We didn't really lose much. We lost Brady, and we lost Shaq Mason.
Yeah.
But that was about it on offense. And then defense, it's all about the same damn players. Akeem Hicks, okay. Enter in Logan Hall, who actually had a good game. We'll talk about that later. But Kancey's the hidden guy that once he comes out, I think things are going to be even better for this defense, and it's nuts. But overall, a huge, huge win. I mean, you're first in your division, 3-1 at the bye week, which was much needed, and just laughing all day at people that were so-called experts calling the Bucs a 14 team. We're already pushed past 3. We're at 3. I guess we should win another game, I guess.
Yeah, it's just, I still find it mind-boggling. When looking at the game from, when I was talking about this Saints game from last week on Buck What You Heard, and talking about the keys to the game, and just, I was like, okay, the Buccaneers need to come out fast. They need to protect the football, and they need to score at least 20 points to win. And I think they did that. Obviously they came out with a good start. They were more aggressive early on. Dave Canales was calling more play action on first down, which I've been screaming for, and he did that. There was a lot of better things overall throughout the game, and they continued to get better, like you said, and took advantage. Defensively, the Saints, yeah, he was. Defensively, you knew the Saints weren't really gelling on offense right now. They haven't scored a lot. They haven't scored in the red zone. So the Bucs just said, okay, we're going to bend, but we're not going to break. We're going to keep things in front of us, not allow the explosive plays. And with Derek Carr having an injured shoulder, he's not going to throw the ball deep. So you know that going in, and they just played smart football on that side of the ball and held the Saints to 9 points, under 200 yards of total offense, which is the first time I think since I want to say 2000. I want to say 2008 or 2002. One of those years they did that, and that's very impressive against a Saints offense that usually is pretty good and usually puts up points, but this year it's not the case. And offensively, I was confident because we were going to see new things from Dave Canales and actually making the Saints defense work. He talked about that in his press conference today, like making them feel challenged and have man concepts that are going to work and create separation, do all the little things. And again, Baker Mayfield played a great game, played smart, and big guys in our big guys stepped up, and also some younger receivers stepped up as well. Trey Palmer, Devin Tompkins, these guys made big plays. So it was a great game, and I'll touch on the expectations. I want to get your thoughts when he spoke up there.
Wait a minute, I forgot what he called it. What did Todd Bowles call
The puppy pound.
Puppy pound.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, but they had 2 huge touchdowns. Like Devin Tompkins laying himself out, just sprawling out for a touchdown, landing on the stripe to get his first touchdown there. And then Trey Palmer going up. That man's got balls. I'm telling you, like literally he stepped up in every occasion. He's had 2 touchdowns in 4 games. I mean, I don't think he has an issue with confidence, put it that way.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this guy get more and more reps, not just confidence, but reps in the system. I think you were touching on this earlier. Once Baker starts seeing those open deep routes, he's going to be money. I mean, the way he can extend the field and how he's getting open it just needs to be delivered. I think once you start thinking, oh, Mike's going to do a slant, they're going to get to him again, and then you have Trey Palmer over the top, it's going to be disgusting what this offense can do. But I mean, touching on what he said about Dave Canales was the spark plug that the Bucs needed.
Yeah.
Yes, and also you need to get rid of a cancer that was Byron Leftwich. This is going to be literally, I think we've been shitting, I'm not going to say shit in the bed, but like spreading the word how bad Byron Leftwich was, how much of a cancer that was to the whole entire team.
Yeah.
That would affect what the end result was. No, everyone kept blaming Brady or the offensive line or Lenny not hitting a hole or we keep throwing the ball. Yeah, you keep blaming things, but at the end of the day, it's the play caller calling the plays, and they have to execute it. Play caller was dumb, didn't answer anything, and then now look at the total opposite that you get in today's press conference with Dave Canales. Literally telling you where he messed up and where he needs to get better at. Would you think Leftwich would have ever said that? Hell no. He would have called everyone dumb. They don't know that. It's fantasy football. Bullshit. That's what he would have said. No. Dave Canales said, yes, I need to get better at judging when to run the ball. I'm going to be stubborn with running the ball, but I need to know when to do it and how to read when defenses are loading the box or what they're telling me that so I can gradually get better at it. And he paid homage to other offensive coordinators that know how to do that really well. He wants to get better at that. But he's open. Like, how open is he and confident and just being, I guess, open about it? Like, not just like he's not offended like how Leftwich was at every time they'd ask him a question. He's like, no, okay, I need to get better at this, and I will. That's what we need. A man, not like a guy hiding behind laughter.
Yeah, well, I think he's putting it into context where it's not going to get him in trouble. So he's saying things that he's allowed to say, but he's doing a great job of explaining it, right? So he's being very clear with his concepts and understanding.
Leftwich couldn't describe it.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a big part of it. Like Dave Canales being a very good communicator, and that's important. You can see the guys are in tune with what they're doing out there. There's not a lot of people, with their deer in the headlights look where they don't know where to be or know what to do. There's been a couple pre-snap penalties here and there. Last week, again, the refs were calling everything yesterday because that's just the way that crew is.
What the hell is intentional grounding?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know that one anymore. even though Rashad White was in the area, I guess it doesn't matter.
Or wasn't a passer either.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't land on the guy, unfortunately, anymore. So I guess that's that's a flag. But yeah, overall, I thought the team just came out. They had the right mindset. They out physicaled the Saints, which we haven't been able to say in a long time. And the Bucs offensive line continues to be a lot better than most people thought, and they're exceeding expectations. I think obviously they're going to continue to grow and get better, especially the young players inside with Cody Mock, Robert Hainsey, Luke Gedeke as well. So that's a good sign. And I think what you're talking about when Dave was saying about the run game and getting better with better with how to call it, that's a mentality, right? Mentality to run the football. And this team just hasn't had that in the past. Even when we won the Super Bowl, we didn't really have that mindset to pound the rock or do it consistently. It was still led Tom Brady pass offense. Even though we were using more play action, there just wasn't really that mindset to run block. And we had a great offensive line from 2020 to 2021, and they still couldn't really run the ball effectively. Like that was just never a thing. So I think that's huge when he's talking about being stubborn with it. It's about getting that mindset into the players, like really hammering it in that this is what the kind of team we want to be. We want to out physical teams, and then we want to take our shots downfield, when they come up above. And I think, that's the adjustment that's going to be made once we go into this bye week. They're going to see, okay, guys are sitting on the crossing routes. We got these clear outs getting open. Baker, now's the time to unleash the fury, right? And let it happen. Let it happen and get it downfield. But real quick, just on the expectations thing, I find it mind-boggling that people were picking the Falcons and Panthers. I can understand picking the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. I mean, offensively, they haven't been really good since Drew Brees left. And defense is getting older. So it's not the same. They lost pieces up front. So, but picking the Panthers and the Falcons, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? And discounting a team that has been in the Super Bowl recently, still has a lot of players on the roster that won the Super Bowl, has that experience. Yeah, learned from Tom Brady. They understand what it takes to win, and you still have most of the coaching staff in place from that Super Bowl. Yeah, it just didn't make much sense to discount the Bucs and say, "Oh, Tom Brady left, automatic Caleb Williams. Here we go. Let's restart. Let's rebuild. Okay, new coaching staff coming in next year. Ben Johnson, you're our guy, and let's go with Caleb." No, that was never going to be the case. This team's going to be picking 18 to 25 range at worst. Yeah, we were never in the Drake May, Caleb Williams contest.
It is puzzling, like why they would assume that. Like it lasts. Oh, you charge a credit card, now it's time to sit on your butt and just get butt whooped. Like even the Pat McAfee is like, oh, we weren't expecting anything from them. This is out of nowhere. Yeah. No, it's only because the media says it. Stop watching stupid mainstream media that only hypes up Boston, LA, and New York.
Right.
And they start looking at people who actually watch the team nonstop. And maybe they'll have a little bit more input. But that's just what we do. We are obsessive, and we see what other teams are, and we see what the hell we have. And it's like, no, we match up way better than most people think. And to say Baker sucks because of what he's been through, look where he's been through. He's been through shit, which was Brown.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he goes to the Panthers.
Literally shit.
Yeah. And got him into almost getting to the Super Bowl against us in 2020. But his guy fumbles at the 1 yard line, and it should have been a touchdown. I think the guy got a concussion on it. But
yeah,
I mean, and how he's playing right now is insane. His reads are actually almost all right. And yeah, he has the one he almost threw in for an interception. The interception he did throw, I when I looked at it, I was like, no, that's just a poor throw. And he said it. Yeah, it's a physical issue. I just
didn't put enough on it.
Yeah. But other than that, the reads are all right. You see him go through it, and he's like, oh, boom, boom, boom. He's quickly going through them. And his ability to move in the pocket, pick up first downs with their legs. And then people are having issues that he's not throwing the ball deep, but he's just being safer and he's letting the team win. He's not necessarily trying to be a hero. I'm okay with that. If we need heroics, yes, he's going to have to do it. But he doesn't necessarily have to do it yet. Okay? Don't be mad we're not putting up 40 points. Let the offense kind of come to it. Yeah, this is supposedly a defense that's been top-notch all season, barely allowing 20 points, and we just put up 26. So Browns are still shit. The defense is good, but
I think they again, to your point, like they're not going to score 40. I think they understand what they are. They understand they have a good defense, right? So they're playing into that. You're playing complementary football. That's what we're seeing. That's the key. So especially when you get up on a team, when you get a lead, obviously that's the best spot to be in. And that really, goes to our strengths because we can control the game, right? You can control the game with first down passing with it, whether it's conservative or not. And then you can mix in your run game, to chew the clock out. Now there's going to come games, especially the one that's coming up against Detroit, where I think probably going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. We're going to have to score at least, upward 20s, maybe 30s. It just depends, like how good can our defense do against a Detroit team, which is going to have a lot of weapons. They're getting Jamison Williams back. So, that's a big addition, and they have a very good offensive line. So it's going to be a good test as that game has been moved to a national spotlight, 4:25 start, which is huge. What?
Get your creamsicles out.
Yeah, get your creamsicle ready. Get the orange nice and clean, and get it ready to go. Should be a lot of fun for that game. Two really good teams. But back to this game, I mean, the Buccaneers I think just huge plays all over the place. I think the players of the game on offense, you look at Baker Mayfield just played outstanding. And then defensively, Antoine Winfield was everywhere. Like that guy, he made all the right plays. He made the biggest plays, I think, on defense. Obviously, that forced fumble before the half was huge because the Buccaneers go up 11 points going into the half right there. Sudden change, Trey Palmer touchdown. But yeah, I mean, just playing the right way. Special teams not messing it up for us, and outside of, the 11 penalties you like to have cut in half, the team played a really clean, good football game.
Yeah, let's actually bring that up. Bang, bang, bang. Let's do it. Okay. So overall, let's looking at team stats.
Yeah.
Passing first downs, get a load of that, 13. First down, 6. Okay. Where's time of possession? That's what I want to see.
That should be at the bottom there. Yep, 31 minutes to 28. So there you go. I mean, you're controlling the game. You look at yards per pass, 7 to 3, which is not good for the Saints. I mean, if you look at Kamara's stats, he had 13 catches for 33 yards. I mean, that tells you everything. So the Buccaneers were just playing collapse defense. They're keeping things in front and coming up and making the tackles, and led by Yaya Diaby and Antoine Winfield.
Who the hell's that?
I mean, Yaya made a great play, coming up on that reverse they were trying to do, and again came out of nowhere and shot the gap. So yeah, great job by pretty much everyone. Everyone was just getting in there, clean tackles. Yeah, we can talk. I guess, can we talk about Logan Hall? I mean,
well, let me say this though.
Yeah.
I'll say our young guys are ultra aggressive. I'll be honest about that. Even Tyon McCollum, like reading the short wide receiver screen,
right?
Like ultra aggressive. And Christian Izien is a freaking missile going after legs. He's gonna hurt someone the way he tackles. Like, I know he's small, but he literally targets legs to make sure they go down. Yeah. And it's insane how these guys move. Being so young and a difficult defense to learn, and they're just playing all out. Yeah, your pass rush helps, and I don't even think they're all the way there yet. Like, I think Kancey is going to make this pass rush outstanding, and I'm hoping a lot on that. And that's already with our defense is doing pretty damn good. We only allowed 9 damn points. That's nuts to me. And then again, the other bigger number that I want to talk about is this. Every time we win this turnover margin, we usually win a game. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying, like, be happy that Baker's being safe with the ball because we're riding team wins. That's what
Mhm.
you want to do. Let's keep winning with the team. If you learn anything from Brady, win by the team. Brady
Yeah.
was just very successful at being a really good game manager. If there was something was open, he'd hit it because he was just aware of everything on the field. But he didn't make many mistakes. Let's have that same thing happen. I don't know why. Again, like yeah, people may have been expecting Baker to be throwing interceptions left and right, but it's the system that drives where the ball should go. And I love how Canales said about energy. The ball finds energy.
Yeah.
Just make a break, and if that's going to draw your eyes to it. I thought that was cool to hear that say. But like, yeah, back on the young guys and Logan Hall,
Mm.
that's probably his best day where you saw his moves work, his one move work multiple
Yeah.
times. And yeah, but then again, Mike Green did win multiple times too. So
Mhm.
it was just their porous middle interior not doing
Yeah.
so well. But I mean, hey,
Yeah.
let's ride positivity and momentum.
Yeah, so we're talking about Logan Hall getting I think he had like a 68 point or like 69 grade from PFF. So obviously it's the best score he's got so far this season, especially after last week where he had a 37, which wasn't good. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was nice to see him get some pressures on the quarterback. He did win with that same move that Mark is referring to. It's his good old swim move where he still stays up a little bit too high, but it works somehow. And it worked in this game. So that was good to see him around the football, trying to make plays. We're going to need more of that going forward. And hopefully, like you said, I think Calijah Kancey is the key to unlocking everything. I think if he comes in and plays like we know he's capable of with his disruption and technique already very good, that should be a lot of fun, especially with how they were using him in that Minnesota game. You can utilize that speed that he has, quickness, just to disrupt plays. And even if he doesn't make the play, it's still disrupting the play and it's allowing other guys to come in and make the tackle. So I think that's going to be a huge part of it. Um, and hopefully that will raise the game of JTS, Shaq Barrett, all these guys getting in more pressures and winning one-on-ones.
Absolutely.
Mm,
And speaking of Logan Hall, I mean,
yeah.
because in a sense he's very much an outlier, but like the way he plays, he's so stout, he's so quick. I mean, he plays with leverage. A
Yeah.
lot of things where it's harder to you can't just push him off his spot, and then that's if you get to him in time. So he's yeah, against the run, he's going to be a mismatch at times, but he's stout enough where he can hold his man up. He's going to just get washed out. Like
Yeah.
Logan Hall plays a little too high, so he can get pushed out. So lower to the ground, lower center of gravity wins. But I just think he can make a lot of things. Plus, adding to the rotation, you don't
Yeah.
get Mike Green as much. You get Cancey and Logan Hall.
Right.
So
And not to mention Vita Vea is
yeah,
playing a man amongst boys, already leading the team with 3.5 sacks. He had 2 in this game. And he's just bulldozing people. So you let Vita Vea just clear the way. Cancey's going to come right behind him and pick up the trash. That's how it's going to work. Yeah, Mark is the president of the Logan Hall fan club.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. But I really wanted to just get back on Baker Mayfield because
Yes.
he is playing outstanding right now. I don't know if you guys checked out our channel on Twitter. I put up a lot of tweets of his numbers. He's in the top 10 of almost every category. When you look at EPA, you look at just efficiency, completion percentage. He's completing almost 70% of his passes, which is great. Taking care of the football. So he's got 7 touchdowns on the year, 2 interceptions, almost 900 yards. Playing really good, like just smart, taking care of the football, playing within the system. And it's funny. I was listening to PFF Sam. I think it's Sam Monson. Like I was listening to him talking about Baker. He's like, "Yeah, the scheme is doing a great job of giving him answers." And now in this game, you see Baker adding to that with the ad lib plays, getting outside the pocket, scrambling, getting first downs. And he was like, "If you marriage those two together, this could be something. It's got a lot of potential, and I think that's what we're seeing.
Is that the curly Q guy or is it the bald headed guy?
The bald headed guy.
Bald
Yeah,
head, bald
yeah,
headed guy hates the Bucks. I'm surprised
yeah,
he's anything positive.
yeah. Well, he was
Everyone
like,
has chosen the opposite team. I think even when we played the Bears, he chose the Bears probably.
yeah, he was trying to be positive with Baker, and he was like, yeah, the first couple of weeks, it was really the scheme making it happen for Baker, and Baker was just hitting the answers. And I was like, what's wrong with that? That's fine. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you want. But then he was like, this last game, Baker was like really starting to play like his old self, where he was, making plays on top of playing within the structure, is what he was trying to point out. So, yeah, I think the offense, like we said many times on this show, it's a perfect fit for his skill set. And you're seeing that. Like, it's just maximizing his talent, and they're doing a great job with it.
Yeah, I mean, even again, you got to go back to your OC, who literally
Yeah.
touches on everything. That's why his press conferences are so long. He's just so in
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah.
He even mentioned he's like Baker can make a simple concept play into something special, like both touchdowns to the young guy. He's like he did that himself. Like it was him finding placements, him extending a play, and it's just what they say is, oh, Baker's getting his moxie back.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just Baker playing within the system and then adding
Right.
a little bit of a wrinkle. If you want to call that his moxie, okay.
Yeah.
I think he gets more hype when he starts running around more. Like
Mm.
after
I-
his
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the confidence is back.
Oh,
And, that's something that he also talked about. He's like, I think Baker got broken when he was in Cleveland, because, he hurts his shoulder, and then they just get rid of him like that and decide, oh, we're going to move on, just because he was playing hurt, for the team. And, that definitely, it affected his confidence. And you can see he's in much better place right now, mentally and physically, and just playing like a warrior out there. I mean, tough as nails. I thought he was done after that hit,
yeah, I did too.
that late hit from the Saints, which was dirty, and I hope that ends up in a suspension or a fine.
Should be.
Yeah, because you can't do that. I mean, the guy's already going to the ground, and you go lay the wood on top of him, in the head to bend him back. Like that's not football. But yeah, I mean, I think he's playing at a good level because he's confident, like, and he believes in what he's doing. He believes in this team and in the system.
And it's a union of everything. It's an
Yeah.
offensive coordinator that knows how to use his skill set. It's weapons on the outside that help a smaller guy that likes to just throw it up, go to the sidelines, and can make throws on the move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot of everything working together. Yeah, we don't have a running game yet. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Like, imagine when that running game gets going, how much easier it will be for Baker. It's insane. Like, and
Yeah.
we don't have anything. We're dead last in yards per carry leading
Mhm.
into that game. And it's not like we had that great of a running game during this game either, but we're
No.
again stubborn, consistent, running the ball. Little chunk here, little chunk there. It wasn't ever good. What was our ending?
Well, Rashad ended with 3.7 yards. We got over 100 yards rushing. That was mainly because of Baker, getting the rushing yards. But Rashad did run the ball better. He had 15 carries for 56 yards, so just under 4 yards per carry. They did a better job, I think, of passing first to set up the run, and that's something that we talked about. And like you said, if the run game does become more consistent, guess what that opens up? That opens up the PA bootlegs.
Mhm.
That opens up space for Baker to get on the move and get outside the pocket to have more time. Because right now you see a lot of defenses are just they're gearing for that bootleg, and they already see it, and they have a guy in Baker's face, so that's kind of disrupting those plays. But if you have a run game where you have to crash hard, like that's going to open things up, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, just one more thing on Baker. Yeah, I said it's a union of everything because it truly is. I mean, we mentioned that before the season even started. Like quarterbacks that don't succeed, if they're so damn good during their college years or there's 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and then they come in the league and an NFL coach says, okay, you did it that way. That's college. We're going to do it different here. So you totally got it so successful doing something one certain way, told them to say, forget it. We're going to do it this way. What do you think's going to happen? That's like making a carpenter an electrician. It's just not going to work. It doesn't work. And it's
Right.
like, yeah, it's similar, but they don't do the same damn things. So this is a guy that Canales brings a very more modern offense, bringing younger guys that know systems like what was the Oregon guy? What's his name?
Chip Kelly.
No. What's the young guy in our staff that we brought over late?
Oh, Jordan Somerville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very young guy, brings in a whole lot of different things, and like it's funny to hear the media saying, "Oh, what are all these weird different plays?" Like, no, this is what a modern offense is supposed to look like.
Right.
And it's not even that hard. It's literally just telling a wide receiver, "Guess what? If you're running this way, you're gonna have to get the ball at one point, and that's gonna be a running play. That's
Mm,
called a run. That's all it is. You're just moving with the ball and then hand it off to you.
yeah.
It's not earth shattering. It's just
Mm,
having teams actually understand. Okay, holy crap, there's another person moving. What is this?" As opposed to no one moving in a Byron Leftwich offense and just set him up, set him go. One-on-one offense. No, this is NFL. It's a lot more difficult. The space is a lot more limited than college. So you got to be able to use moving pieces to your advantage. And I think that's what Canales is doing to help Baker. Baker's more
yeah.
familiar with that. We're getting RPOs. And again, media is amazed by that. Why?
Yeah.
uh, you're using your talent to their best of their ability. This is what we're looking at. And
Mm,
I give kudos to Todd Bowles for going out and to find that, because the only thing that's been consistent in Tampa Bay is the defense. And now we're finally seeing some offense come to fruition thanks to Canales finding a guy in Baker, using those weapons correctly. So,
yeah. Yeah.
guys, this is what the expectation should have been from outside sources, not that we're going to be a bag of shit.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, when is the last time the Buccaneers scored 26 points against the Saints? I mean, that probably wasn't the last time we probably did that was the playoff game against the Saints. I think what we got 30 in that game.
Yeah, every time I got 30, we won the game.
Yeah, so and that was with some defensive, I think defensive plays as well, defense touchdown, I believe. But just I mean, looking at yesterday's game, I mean, I can't remember when the Buccaneers got that much separation on plays, like getting yards after the catch, like
I don't know.
Godwin running free. You had Mike Evans getting separation early in the game, even though he went out with a hamstring. So hopefully he's okay there. But just guys getting open, like the concepts that they had, the little plays to Devin Tompkins over the middle to, pick up first downs and the end arounds, the pass play by Chris Godwin. Which again, I thought that was smart by Godwin to throw it at the defensive back because it probably should have been a PI. Yeah, because and that's what Dave Canales thought as well. But still, just having those plays, having those guys engaged, getting the ball to Raheem Jarrett on a little, shovel pass. They did a shovel pass to Chris Godwin as well. Even though they didn't go far, it still sets things up for later. Like, so it was just a lot of good things that they were doing, mixing in the run game at times and utilizing easy completions for Baker, getting him in rhythm. That was smart. And then, taking some shots, down the field as well.
Yeah. And I'll touch on this because it's something we talk about,
Mhm.
you and me, back and forth.
Yeah.
But JC Allen brought it up. Guard position, though, they could use another high pick on guard and likely slide
Mhm.
block over to center. So it's something we've touched on. I don't think we've ever talked about it on the show, though.
Right. No, I mean, getting into, positional needs and hopefully, more needs go away as certain guys play better.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have to draft a quarterback in round 1 next year. And, offensive line, you look at right tackle, it looks like it's solidified with Luke Gedeke. Hopefully that continues to progress. But yeah, I mean, guard you're probably going to need one because Matt Filer, even though he's playing okay, like he's doing his job, he might not be back, and you
Mhm.
probably have to draft a young guy to take his spot. And then yeah, Cody I think could be an excellent center. He's got the size, he's got the smarts, he's got the technique. Even though he's got a long way to go, like Dave said, like he's got to build his fundamentals because he is aggressive. He is super aggressive. He just wants to kill the guy in front of him, but you can't do that every play. So I think, yeah, him at center would be nice, and then you would have to find another guard, to shift in. Um, But yeah, I mean, we talked about it before as far as needs. I think that'd be a lot of fun to get another interior offensive lineman in there to really solidify whether it's next to Wirfs or next to Gedeke or both.
Yeah, I mean, because mainly also it's just for us,
Yeah.
like, or for me, like Hainsey just doesn't anchor well. He may be a
Yeah.
genius in making the calls and telling where protection needs to be.
He's just not big enough.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, this is his second year starting at center.
Mm,
Yes, I can see the value in it. Hopefully, it gets better. Maybe it is just the people around him just working together as a unit. Because I
right.
mean, we didn't run the ball at all last year, so maybe they just need to get used to this new zone scheme. Maybe the running backs need to do better reads of understanding where holes will eventually be. So I'm not going to knock them that bad just yet, but I just know a tendency where Hainsey isn't anchoring as well as other players are, and
Right.
that is an area of weakness. But overall, they're playing well. Like, and he
Mm,
even again, Canales is very honest during his press conferences. He's like, they're damn good at pass blocking. I can't knock anything about that.
yeah.
Run blocking, we're not there. Our mentality isn't there in run blocking.
Yeah.
It's
And I
because
think he means that's the whole group. Like the
yeah,
whole group's not there. The tight ends, the line, the receivers,
yep,
running backs, reading it right, playing with that flow, playing with that energy. But yeah, I mean, you're on it. I mean, that's something that hopefully it comes with time. And I think that's why he's going to be stubborn about it, continue to find the right runs. And that's something he talked about going into this bye week is finding, can we run the mid zone? Can we do the wide zone? What is working in that regard? Or are we just going to stick with more power and do some more counters along with that? What is going to work in this running offense?
yeah. And JC Allen, yep.
Mhm.
O-line has been great in pass pro. I fully agree. Fully
Yep.
agree. There's been opportunities. We just need to hit them. But I mean, overall, offensively during this game, it was just a lot of early on. It was stupid flags, or I mean, then the one Baker almost interception. But then after that, it was just
Mhm.
very clean, moving the ball,
Yeah.
getting what we can get, and not much trickery, but differences, different concepts that I guess people didn't expect from us. Which, what
Mhm.
do you know? You get a whole new offensive play caller. You'd think you'd have some differences. I was saying in the beginning of the season, like based on that alone, we should be better because no
Mhm.
one knows what to expect. So I mean, hey,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah, I
experts,
mean, they found a way to put it together, especially in that second half. They had a huge drive where I think it was 15 or maybe 17 play drive, and it took up 8 minutes of the second half, and they ended up scoring on the Devin Tompkins touchdown. So that was huge, like just finding that momentum. Because like me and you talked about, I was like, okay, second half to start, we need to come out throwing the ball, be aggressive. And they did the exact opposite. They came out, ran the ball, ended up being a 3-and-out. And they're like, oh man, here we go. Like,
yeah,
okay, we're gonna try to just pound and ground this game out and hope the defense makes the stops, which they probably would have, but it was important to get that long drive to get the touchdown and really put the game away, which they did. A great job of just controlling the game in that second half.
they did. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just smooth. Like I know, like you were like, oh, that's game. I go, plus, don't say that yet. Like it's
I just yeah, I just wasn't worried about the Saints offense. I mean, and then on top of that, we haven't even got to the best part of the game. And
one of
that's
them.
because that's because the great one, Jameis Winston, comes into the game. Okay, here we go. 2-minute offense. This baby's coming back. We're gonna be chucking it deep. And my God, he chucked it deep, and it was picked by D. Delaney. And I was like talking to Saints fans, and I was an idiot last night. I stayed up late last night responding to that fool that is Jameis one of one, who just continues to defend
Wait,
Jameis Winston.
you're not
What?
blocked anymore?
No, I went on my other account,
Okay.
my personal account, and I started talking to this fool. And of course, he's coming out with all the excuses. And I'm like, D. Delaney was eyeing that thing the whole way. I was like, that thing was going to be picked regardless if Jameis got hit or not. He's like, well, he got hit. He threw it short. And he's like, what is he supposed to do? He's down 14 points. We got to score touchdowns. I'm like, whatever, bro. Um, it was great. It was great.
That's
But that
wild.
was the best part. Like that just put the icing on top.
You should
Jameis
write a
throwing a
book
pick.
about that one throw.
Yeah.
Another book of one of one.
I mean, I told him, I was like, it's inspiring the love that you showed this guy, even though he's just an
Okay,
average.
again,
He's an average quarterback.
he's an expert. He sold books and
Yeah.
was on I don't know how many media
Oh yeah.
platforms.
Yeah. Never shows his face, but he's on. Yeah.
I'm like, is this for real?
Yeah. And then he brings up the 2019 season. He's like, which quarterback has ever thrown for 5,000 yards and, first in EPA and first in all this, advanced analytics stats. And I'm like, okay, how many games did he cost the team that year? Yeah.
Well,
And he's like, well, at least Jameis isn't afraid to try to win games instead of pad stats. Yeah, that's what he says, JC Allen. Exactly.
another QB would have padded their stats, not Winston, though.
Yeah, I know. So crazy. And like most of those games were down because of him. And then he's padding on stats because he's trying to come back.
You can't fix stupid.
No,
Okay.
you can't. You
I
can't.
mean, there's one thing for, was it that Ron White? Is that who said it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's some comedian. You can't fix stupid.
No, you can't. He does the same things. Yeah, it's the same errors every game for him.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Like in the beginning, we all were like, "Holy crap!" There's
yeah,
here.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah, because it is a roller coaster.
He's the funnest quarterback to watch. That's what makes him great to cover. Like nobody will do what Jameis does in a game. Nobody. Like you got to give him credit for that. Like he tries things that won't work, but he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it all the time, and that's what makes it fun. Like, I mean, the games we went to, Mark, like we've been to where or watched together, where he would just run around, throw the ball up like it was nothing, and of course Mike Evans comes down with it. Like,
You're yelling, "What the fuck are you doing again?" Oh yeah,
yeah, but fun times.
Yes, heart attack times. Like many a Tampa Bay, Tampanian, whatever. I've probably had a many cardiac visit to the hospital because of Jameis Winston. But hey, we're moving on, right? And let's move on to the defense. We haven't even touched on them, and they only allowed 9 damn points in one whole game to the Saints
awesome.
at home at the Saints' house. So I'll let you take the first stab at.
I'm just gonna say Antoine Winfield. Give him all the money in the world. Don't let him leave. He is probably the best safety in the game, I think, in my opinion. Like free safety, he's got locked down, and he can do so much. Whether it's playing nickel that he showed in this game, or playing just back and as far as the free safety, or most of the game he was just playing up on the line of scrimmage. Like they were letting D. Delaney play free safety, which is great. And he actually played well. And it just allows Antoine to just go hunt the ball. And that's what he did. Like he was breaking legs. Like he was coming out for Kamara and just knocking him back. So yeah, I mean, outstanding.
And he's playing unreal. Like
he wants the money. He wants the money.
I mean, not just that. It's just like they're playing so much more free. Yeah, like so versatile. JC Allen said. Like but he's not even playing deep that much. It's just more how they're getting him open when he's down low. Like, and why these people are testing him to throw the ball towards his side too. Like, it's almost like wear that damn thing how Tom Brady wore when Ed Reed was on the field. Oh, look for 31. How about one of those? Like, well, maybe they don't. Maybe they start throwing him the ball because, like,
I hope so. I hope he can get some picks for us. Yeah,
because that's what he cares more about. He's making great plays, but if they start throwing the ball, because I was hoping to see him more deep safety making plays like that. But if he's making that crazy of an influence on pass rush, on stopping the run, on just forcing errant throws, who got the hit on Jameis? Who hit Jameis to make that interception for Jameis?
Oh, as he threw it, I think it was one of the defensive linemen. But might have been JTS or somebody.
Whether it's a short pass, whether he's hitting the quarterback, getting on it, like he's just all over the damn field.
Yeah, he's just been great. And I think once Ryan Neal gets back, he came out with a concussion, second play of the game. once Ryan Neal gets more comfortable with the defense, I think Antoine's just going to be able to expand what you want him to do as far as getting picks and stuff like that. So, but secondary as a whole, I think is my highlight because
Okay.
Zion McCollum shut down Chris Olave. Only 1 catch, 4 yards. Like that's pretty good. that's really good. Carlton Davis back in this game did a great job. So really, yeah, the secondary as a whole, Christian Izien doing his thing. So yeah, I really have no complaints with the secondary. I thought they played great. Levante, I think, stepped up as a linebacker. He had a lot of good plays as well.
Yeah, and that's something that was the only thing that we had a concern with going into the season, like the depth of secondary, because Zion McCollum was such a unknown. You didn't know if he was going to make that step. You just saw very inconsistent plays rookie season. He's taken a damn step.
Yeah, he's confident now. Yeah,
and like I don't know if it's me or he's just literally, even his whole body, he looks bigger. Like he looks like a safety playing corner, but he's as athletic as a corner.
Yeah,
like it's nuts. Like the same difference between Dean, Carlton, and him. Like his body's just bulkier, but he stays with these guys easy, and his quick twitch abilities there too. And then D Delaney, like he's a guy that's been on the roster every year, but doesn't really get much playing time. He does, and almost looks bad, but now he's playing well. Is it the pass rush that's helping the secondary help a lot? But then again, there's times where our pass rush really isn't there. Like against the Eagles, it wasn't consistently there, but again, we're down.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is team complementary football, where if the offense isn't shit in the bed, the defense can get breaks, that it can get after the quarterback, they can make plays, they don't have to sit there and wait. It's going to be 7 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this isn't just our defense is so good, our offense is finally doing something. It's more complementary. Like everyone's playing the right way. And again, kudos to Todd Bowles, Jason Light, bringing in the right guys. But like this defense can be special. I can't wait to see Calijah Kancey. I think it's like the 5th time I've said that today.
Yeah, I think everyone's antsy to just get him in there. Yeah, antsy to see Kancey. Definitely to see his potential, because again, that's your first round pick. It's a lot of investment, into a player that you think is, you brought him here for a reason, right? To help this defense, to get it faster up front. And I think it's funny that you hear Todd Bowles talk about where they were like, when do you expect to see the identity of your team? And he was like, well, until we get everybody back in there, I don't think we can really say, what our identity is. So he's excited about how to use Kancey and his packages and his blitz, concepts and all those type of different things. You can really run some stunts like they want to with Kancey out wide, and bring him around the edge with Vita just clearing the path. Like, doing those things, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, just a great game overall defensively.
Yeah. Let's see. Brutal's Bucs. Jason Light has really turned his legacy around from turd cutter years through today. Yeah. I mean, I think Plus was mentioning this, like how, because you guys know how highly we think of Logan Hall. But to say we drafted Logan Hall, but then we get undrafted guys like Christian Izien, who's like no one's talking about him because he's literally doing his job so consistently well that our secondary is that well. Like he's all over the damn place. Whether it's again like how we're mentioning Antoine Winfield Jr., he gets after it in pass rush, in the run, against the pass, like in zone. Doesn't matter if it's zone or man, he's all over it, and he's always on the field. That's another thing. So it's like Jason Light found that, but then he could draft Logan Hall that high. But I can't even knock Logan Hall just yet because we can't. It's his 2nd year. Maybe he had a good game. Maybe we ride some momentum. But this guy is on fire. And talk about the young rookies like Devin Tompkins, another undrafted guy. Palmer, late round wide receiver. Like he's just doing his job and he's bringing in talent. And he found the right coaches to exploit that talent the best to their ability. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean,
we're all world. We're going to beat everyone.
No.
I'm just going because we lost to the Eagles, who are a really damn good team.
Yeah.
I think the Lions are going to be a really good matchup because I think that's around the area where we are. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. Yeah, the 49ers and Eagles and what was the other team I said?
Maybe like the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think those are like the top 3. But I mean, in the NFC, guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the Lions were right there with them. That'll be a better measuring stick. The Eagles are just really consistent. They've been together for a little bit now. Let's see as the year goes on, do we get better with our offensive system? You know, the defense is going to be sound as long as they stay healthy. But
yeah,
a lot of good things come of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that Lions game will be a great test because, and you look at who's beaten the Lions so far this year. That's Seattle Seahawks, and guess what kind of offense the Bucs run? Seattle's offense. So it's like, okay, let's see, if we can run it similar to how Seattle ran it. Now again, they have more experience in the system. They've been running it for years, so that'll be interesting to see how we play against them, how we strategize. Will we try to do similar things that Seattle did in that game? But yeah, it should be a fun one. Now move to a 4:25 start. You got the creamsicles out for it. Should be a great test. Physical team, a coach that we wanted before BA got here. We were big fans of Dan Campbell. Their organization, I think, runs the right way, and they've had a hell of a draft. You look at their rookies, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch, Jamar Gibbs. They got Jack Campbell, Dan Campbell's son. They drafted him. So, so it's all good. But anyway, if you guys are liking this podcast, be sure to hit that like button. Comment. Bring a comment to the table. If you got something you want us to look at, you got something for the future, please let us know. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and catch all the latest from Real Bucs Talk. We appreciate all the support in here, all the listeners. It's good to have everyone in here on a positive vibes, and it's good when you win, right? It's good. It's good for everybody. It's good when you win games. So it feels great. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Anything we need to improve, let us know. But we're going to keep doing these as we move forward, and Mondays are always a great time for us.
Yeah. I mean, win or loss. And that's one thing we notice with YouTube and like views and stuff. After a win, yes, we get a crap ton of views for all the film studies and everything we do. After a loss, there's like nothing. And I'm like, guys, if you truly value what a film study is, you would want to watch the losses because that's the only area you find out where we need to fix to move forward. Because that team exploited our weakness, and we need to get better at it. And if you look at what the weakness was against the Eagles and what they said after the game, it was textbook. Like, if you're throwing the ball, catch the ball. Yeah. It's that simple. And that's where we messed up a lot. You can't have drops where you're losing drives. And then everyone wanted to blame it on a bad run game. Yes, that is a part of it, but it is not the end result of why you lost a game because you couldn't run the ball well. Yes, he touched on great teams have great efficiency in the red zone because they can run it in that area. Yeah, that's a true statement. But that's only a piece of what the whole story is of an NFL game. And drops are a huge part of it. Mental mistakes are a big part of it. Turnovers are a big part of it. Yeah. Don't turn the ball over. Play safe with the ball. Hit opportunities when they're there. And you usually are either right there in it or you're looking pretty damn good at the end of the day because other teams aren't as consistent. And we faced a team that was damn consistent, damn good together, and it had a hell of a defensive line. So I think as the year goes on, the offense will start to gradually improve. Canales will learn, get better. Yeah, I'm not saying we're world beaters just yet, but we're playing consistent ball, team ball.
Yep, absolutely. And guys, we appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the comments in here. Just do us a favor if you do watch one of our film studies and it's coming off a loss, don't say we don't care they lost. Just don't say that. Don't say that. Like, come on, man. Like it's like, why bother? They lost. Like what Mark just said, that's why we do it. We show you the why of how can this team improve. And I think a lot of you guys, enjoyed that, respect it. I just found that one funny. Like, it's like, why? I don't care. They lost. Like, okay, great.
Yeah.
But we got to put this stuff out because it's important not only to us, but it's important to you guys, and that's why we do it. We do it for you, and we appreciate all the comments in here. Again, hit that like button. Appreciate all the support. We got Frukwab. I want to get his question in here. He's always a great fan for us.
Yeah.
Why is the running game why isn't the running game gelling? We touched on it. I think it's just a lot of things, like it's mentality, it's things coming together. Right now it's like, one guy's messing up here and you're just not getting the consistency, the flow. And Dave Canales talked about that today, where he's got to improve when to call the runs, how to call the runs, all those things. And that comes, first time offense coordinator. People forget that, like, this is his first time doing it, so it's a challenge.
Yeah, like he just said, it's the coordinator calling it correctly.
Mm.
It's the offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers, understanding which man I got to block. This is a whole new blocking system that was installed by Canales. They're getting the reps to get this live game action, to understand where to get it. Like Kate Otten missed a lot of blocks the first game. Second week got better. Third week missed it again. This week got better. But like, it's a lot of just getting consistent of, okay, if they call this play, I know I have to get this one guy that's in this zone.
Mm.
Like that's a lot of understanding, where last year you didn't get anything. And it's a whole new system of blocking is the biggest part. Yeah, everyone thinks it's man on a man.
Mm.
But then again, if you didn't do it at all last year, and now you're having to get used to how fast do I go into this guy? If I'm moving, a lot of it's like they put their wide receivers and tight ends in motion to start blocking. So if you're moving
Right.
like this and the guy's stationary and he goes in, you
Yeah.
got to leverage yourself to get a block, or else if you're not leveraged, you're going to get blown up as well.
Mm.
So I think Canales said it, as they get repetition and that they learn that mentality to block through and let the running back see where that hole is going to be eventually. Based off repetition, they will get better at it. Yeah, it can't get worse. We're at the bottom of the totem pole. Start of the season, but we're being consistent with it. That's the bigger thing to talk about. Even though we're not doing well with it, we're still doing it and we're winning games.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a positive in my mind. As Rachaad White starts seeing these holes faster, because some of these holes he has not been hitting when they're there. Yeah, because they're inconsistent. He doesn't know it's going to be there. But I think as the whole team mentality-wise gets it, we'll start getting bigger runs. But it's not there yet.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And we'll end it on this last question. Who's been the biggest surprise? And I think we'll both agree that Luke Gedeke has just played outstanding, right tackle. But I'll let you touch on, if you got a different one, you could go with Zion McCollum. I think those are like the two biggest.
I'd say Gedeke, we knew he'd be better for that way.
Right.
To me, to be honest, I touched on it earlier. Oh, Chase McLaughlin's pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
But Christian Izien, to me, like,
like no one expected him.
Yeah, an undrafted guy that's playing at an extremely high level. Like, he's consistently making plays. If it goes to his side, he's there. Like, he's at least slowing the guy down. He's not missing assignments. He's always in the right damn spot. That's insane for a guy that 32 teams passed up on 7 times. Like, that blows my mind. And no one talks about him. He's too small I guess he's too jacked being too small. That was his weakness.
Yeah, he's a vital piece to the defense. So he's going to get a contract as well. Give him an extension now. Like, just sign him cheap if you can. But yeah, he's playing at a very high level, so that's awesome for him. And just a great job by the team overall to bounce back a short week. They get the win, 3-1 going into the bye. But I think that's going to do it for us, guys. We appreciate all the support, appreciate all the people that were in here. We had over 50 people, which is awesome. I think a lot of that was when I was going on my Jameis rant, so that's great. Bring them on in. But yeah, it was awesome seeing everybody in here and all the participation, because that makes the show. Like, you guys are the show. So, very awesome. Mark, any last thoughts before we get
No,
out of here?
let's rest up. Let's get our
Yeah.
guys back. And I'm telling you, that Bucks Lions game is going to be that's going to be a good one. That's the measuring stick. The Eagles that was kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
But this one, we have 2 weeks. We have a week and a half or 2 weeks to prepare for this. Again, like you mentioned, the Seattle Seahawks are the only team that beat the Lions so far.
Yep.
Let's see. Does Canales bring some things from that he already knows? You hope so. But we have 2 weeks to prepare, get healthy, and let's see what the hell they can do because I'm excited.
Absolutely. And as Krillin says, Cobra Kai, watch it. It's a great show. Be sure to do that. Be sure to hit that like button for us because we appreciate that as well. And all the support you guys give us. So everyone have a great week. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy stress-free, not worrying about the Bucs winning or losing. We come back next Monday for a great show. And be sure to tune in around 9:15 Eastern. And we can't wait. And with that said, until the next one.
Woo!